We do have a special guest in studio here. We are joined by Ron McLean. He is the president and CEO of the Cooperative Credit Union Association. And Ron, what a great time to talk to you. How are you?
Chuck, I'm doing fantastic. I'm pleased to join you this morning.
When you look at what's going on today, and other than the obvious, concerns that credit union members may have at the moment, what are the biggest things that you're hearing from your credit unions today?
So, Chuck, first off, I want to assure all your listeners out there that credit unions are safe, sound, and secure. Highly capitalized, highly regulated, also backed by the National Credit Union Share Insurance Fund, essentially the equivalent to the FDIC.
Mm-hmm.
A major talking point that resonates is no depositor has ever lost a single penny at a federally insured credit union. We are the polar opposite of Silicon Valley Bank. We are not Signature Bank. We are not tied in with venture capitalists, tech startups, heavy investing in crypto. We are your safe, local, trusted credit union. And really, it's been a flight to safety in many ways. Our members have been at the forefront. We have about 200 credit unions who serve about 5 million members in New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Delaware.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been very calm. Our members, our CEOs have told us that there's been really a nominal amount of inquiries by the membership. It's more curious. And in many cases, the members have come back and said, this is the reason why we're a member of a credit union.
Can you talk a little bit about how the typical setup for an ownership structure of a credit union makes that entity different from a bank?
That is our business model. You don't walk into a credit union as a customer. You walk in as a member owner. So the credit union exists to help you, your family, your business get to a better place in life because you are a member owner. So if a credit union makes a profit, if you will, of any kind, that profit is given back to the members in better rates, lower fees, new services, enhanced services, and they exist to serve you, the member. It's not to serve an outside investor or a venture capitalist, and it's local. If you are a member of a credit union and pick a town or city or state, that money stays there. It's amongst your neighbors, your friends, your families.
When you talk about the fact that credit unions are local, one of the concerns that people inevitably bring up is, okay, what if I'm traveling on the other side of the country and I need money out of an ATM? Or what if I need to get in touch with someone when I'm, on the road or something like that? What services are available for different credit union members that can alleviate those concerns?
Right. If you travel, if you move, that membership stays with you. Once a member, always a member. Technology, remote banking, digital banking, apps, etc. What you're going to find very unique in the credit union space is collaboration and cooperation.
Mm-hmm.
Credit unions share, they have something called shared branching, which is very unique, that a member of one credit union can go into another one and do transactions.
Really?
That's not for every single credit union in the country, but literally tens of millions of members can access that shared branching network. They also collaborate on ATMs, tens of thousands of ATMs across the country that you can do, surcharge free. And that makes us stand out, and it kind of tells you a broader story of the credit union system.
When you look at the banking industry as a whole right now, are there any larger concerns that you have when you look at just, what the business looks like today?
Chuck, I would say I'd like to see the focus more on Main Street, not Wall Street, which is right in the credit union wheelhouse. I would love to see credit unions more empowered to do more to help consumers. If you're a consumer out there and you're not a member of a credit union and you join one, you're going to save hundreds of dollars, if not thousands of dollars per year. That's money back in your pocket, put more food on the table, maybe pay for some of those heating costs, save for the future for your kids' education. And I think, that focus not on that high risk, high return, focus on the essentials of helping people build a better life, financial well-being for all is something I would like to see banking go back to. We believe credit unions are banking how it should be.
When you talk about things like that, I think a lot of people look back to the idea, people may remember from, the 50s and 60s, hey, I went into, the bank and I had a talk with the loan originator, and we were able to figure out a way to get me into the home that I wanted. Are those types of things more prevalent in the credit union environment because there's greater flexibility in some cases? Is that kind of more the focus there?
Yeah, the credit union spirit, we use the term people helping people. From the 50s to today, you're going to have more technology, more ability to do that, certainly.
I would hope so, yeah.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. But they work with members every single day. If you get to a rough patch in life, I think in many ways that's where credit unions stand out. They want to help you get to a better place in life, and that means maybe being more flexible if they need to, or working with you, not against you, I think is really the spirit of what a credit union is about. Because, like I mentioned earlier, Chuck, you're a member.
You mentioned earlier in our conversation that no depositor has ever lost a single penny in a federally insured credit union. For folks who are wondering kind of how that works on a per account basis and per credit union basis, what are the similarities and differences from the FDIC insurance that people may be more familiar with?
It's the same coverage, up to $250,000. It's just backed by a different, I'll call it, entity. And I also want to point out in Massachusetts, if a credit union is a member of the Massachusetts Share Insurance Corporation, that means their entire deposits are insured.
Regardless of how big they are.
Regardless of how big it is. That's in Massachusetts. But to answer your question, it's FDIC. If you walk into a credit union, you're going to see that the term NCUA, National Credit Union Administration. So again, up to $250,000. And if you have a joint account, yourself and your wife or partner, whomever, that $250 is times two, right?
Yep.
And also if you have a joint account, that's $500,000. Yourself, your wife, or your partner of any kind, and then a separate individual account, that's another $250.
Oh, because it's a different registration.
Right,
It doesn't. It doesn't just use up your $250 on that one account.
Right.
When you look at the situation that we're seeing right now in the banking sector, maybe it's just because it was recent history, but there's so many comparisons that I think people are making to 2008, and I'm curious to get your take on how this situation may be different from what we saw back in 2008, because I think those are the fears that kind of get people front and center, which are, gee, are we going to go through that again?
Right. So it is different. 2008, 2009, I think was more of a systemic issue, largely tied to the mortgage-backed securities, larger organizations. That's where that term, I think, too big to fail came from. I think we've learned the past week or so that too big to fail has come down in asset size, I think, quite a bit. So today it's largely contained to, at least right now, those two banks, Silicon Valley Bank, Signature Bank. I would say the similarities, to kind of twist the question around to be the opposite side of things, a flight to safety. Credit unions are seeing, again, a influx of deposits that are, I think, a good thing. And that when people have a little uncertainty in life, they go to places where they know, they like, and they trust. And in many ways, that's your local trusted credit union.
Ron, if someone is interested in learning more about the credit union options that are available to them, where do they go?
I would go right away to bettervaluesbetterbanking.com. Punch in your zip code, and out will come a list of credit unions. I encourage your listeners to reach out to them. You'll have a partner to help you build financial well-being for life. Again, bettervaluesbetterbanking.com.
Ron, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it.
Chuck, thank you.
That is Ron McLean. He is the president and CEO of the Cooperative Credit Union Association.